Hello guys, welcome back to another Lumley trading video. In this one we're going to be doing our trading recap for September 9th, 2024. So to get straight into it, we'll pull up the Discord and show you what we were looking at. So we have a range to fill to the downside on SPY, gave you the exact levels 542.21 to 544.20. So again, we have range to fill on the downside on SPY, that's that chart, and then we also have gaps on the ES, so overall short bias. Now again, we don't blindly short, we need reasons to entry, and you can see in this case it popped up and then came down to start filling this range. And what you can see as of right now, and this is why a kind of a good tip to take away going forward as well, is you'll normally see we have fibs. If you give you a range, again we have one range here, if you can kind of see the difference in squares or rectangles, and another range here. You can see this bigger range has been, and the range kind of provided was that one, to that one. You can see we have it fibbed. Now, golden pocket is the lower area, so in this case, it's normally the 61.8, kind of the 38.2. That is what is considered the golden pocket. You expect price to come down and push that at a minimum. Again, most of the time you get a full fill on the range, but in a case like this, we always take profits and move stops kind of around that 50 to 38. Just because, again, sometimes you come down to here and then you'll kind of pop and go away from it, because this is just considered a shy of the level. So in this case, again, you should still be making money on these. Yes, we don't get all the way to the full TP, but again, you should still definitely be making money on these. So we went through that, and then went through the QQQ range. We'll go through that after. And then again, it's all about them finding your reasons to entry. So starting to get reasons for a starter entry. Now, why are we getting that? Price kept pushing higher and higher. And then we were doing that at some sort of a divergence. You can see we actually broke the divergence here as we pushed into this new high. But again, that gave us a great reason to enter. You're coming into this moving average. You're coming very close to the 261 fib extension. If we go over to the futures, we hit that to the penny. And again, we have a 78.6 fib. This is from Friday's non-farm payrolls. So again, just kind of lots of things lining up in that sort of area. Again, you're oversold on the RSI. And MACD wasn't too much up there, but definitely oversold on the RSI again, and just lots of kind of reasons to maybe start looking entry short. Again, we haven't had confirmation short. These are just reasons where we could start to see pullback. So it's where we hit some size, but again, nothing crazy until we kind of get more confirmation, which in this case wasn't the cleanest confirmation. It was a bit too late to make the trade super clean, but overall we still got it. And on SPY, you can see we start breaking below the 50 line on the RSI, we break below the 0 line on the MACD. Now, the first inkling to start getting short is confirmation here. That's the MACD cross. Again, you got the exact same thing on the futures. And so again, these are starting to be good reasons to kind of just give us more confidence on this short. So that's really what I'd be looking at. And again, then we can target coming into that first range and then that second range. So that was kind of the overall game plan on that. Again, we're finding the reasons to enter short, and we enter short to fill that range. And yeah, we were basically just calling these levels as well before we even got there. Shorts at there, and again, where was the exact top? And you can see what time we posted this. We posted that dead on 10 a.m. Again, we go over to the chart. So where did we call the shorts? It came up. Here we go. We called this here, right here. And where was the exact top? There. And we called that because we knew this is where you're most likely going to come before you get that pullback. That's why we called out the short. So again, we nearly caught that. Basically did catch that exact top to come and start filling the range. Now, to go over the other side. So that's basically it on SPY. Now, we've also got the exact same game plan on QQQs and NQs. There's a range on the Qs, which is provided there. And gaps to fill short bias on the NQ futures. Again, the range provided 452.87 to 451.11. So we go over to the QQQs and the NQ chart. What are we looking at? Same thing. If we go back, we open, we get an opening drive to the 61.8 fib. Again, it's fibbed out from the range provided. That's always a nice kind of beginner short. It did that. Well, we hit that, we get a pullback. That could have been a nice scalp unless you wanted to hold it through that trade. We start doing some new highs or higher highs. What are we doing? We're doing this at a divergence again. Shorting into this wasn't bad calls. and then again we're pushing up to here. You can see we hit this zero line. What is this zero line? That is the low of non-farms on Friday. So you expect that it's always going to be a key level. Again, high and low of news is always going to be a key level, and that is the exact high. So again, giving us confidence to get short. Again, we're just shying that moving average. But overall, again, we can always add more size if we come up to that. But again, it's all thinking about where is the key level. We're hitting these. Again, still at divergence if you go from the open. Divergence on the MACD, you got the MACD cross, and again the news high, which is going to be the main reason to kind of look a lot more short bias there. So again, lots of reasons to get short, and again, this is also lining up with the exact same thing on the S&P. S&P was looking short bias at that same time. So now we're getting short bias, and we're targeting that. Well, firstly, you're targeting the golden pocket area, and then you're targeting the main range bottom, which is going to be 451. So again, coming down here, and again, range here, and completed. That's a main trade. And once we as well, that's one thing as well to note over on SPY. We filled the complete range on QQQs. So when you get the fill completely on one, you may not always get the complete fill on the other. So one will be leading, and that's going to be the more important one. So again, I would always be managing your risk once one of those ranges has filled. And then you can see as we push down, we did come into our first standard deviation. This is the 1 year level. And so again, that is a high probability bounce. So even if we were still holding shorts through there, again, I've covered everything by there anyway. But if you are holding anything, that is the next area to definitely lock in all profits. And if not, even flip along bias. And this was a really nice long. And why was that? Really strong support. Again, first deviation. And then what are we getting? Divergence on the RSI. We're making lower lows, but higher lows on the RSI. We're getting the exact same thing on the MAC. And then obviously we've had the MACD crosses to signal some upside. And even though we're trading in the lower range, we're barely getting any reds. They're greens. Again, they're small ones, don't get me wrong, but they are green until we get up to here. So once we start trading back in that range, MACD is showing to be very strong. So again, it's all these confirmational aspects that is likely to push us higher. I didn't actually figure out the downside, but I wouldn't be surprised if that lines up with the 161, which it does to the penny. Again, don't even need to plot them half the time because you know, well, at least when you get more used to them, you know roughly where they're going to be. Kind of already know it's going to be roughly on that range. So again, just added conviction to get that long bias and lock in any profits if you were holding that short. And what happened here? We shied those levels. We talk about those shies. We're going to probably come and test it. And what did that do? Gave you another, basically captured that high once again and kind of gave you more reasons to short. So again, we're not even always trading every one of this plays. For example, this play we didn't actually trade, but we can call them time and time again. So it is just we go through them in the recap so you can start seeing them and hopefully trade them for yourself. But again, we're pushing these highs. What's happening? Divergence, higher highs. Again, reasons to short because we're coming into strong resistances. Again, you've got the zero line, which is the news low. You have the moving average, and very close you have the 261 fib. So again, lots of reasons to get short from here. And then again, once we're trading in this range again, especially on the Qs, not looking to do anything. Really just done completely on the Qs now for the day. Don't really care what happens with it. And if we go over to the S&P, the way it's kind of nice is, again, we keep coming into this range high. Until you kind of break this, you can kind of use this as an over-under level. As long as we're staying above this level, you can look for longs. If we can start breaking below, then we can start looking for that actual range to finally fill. That is the trading recap. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you next one. And that's it. Peace.